Yeah, it's kind of interesting timing, because we were planning to have this discussion at some point, but obviously there's things that got in the way, such as Ultimate Joker, a common thorn in our side. But with the re-release of the Raimi movies, it reminded me. All right, we had this discussion, so I remembered that we had these plans, so I brought it back up.
Yep.
But speaking of, I did get the chance to see Spider-Man 2.1 yesterday. And it was a pretty interesting experience because that one was never released in the theaters, so it's interesting seeing, okay, what's gonna change, what's gonna be different this time around.
Yeah, it's definitely I guess for the sake of like it's just an overview. I do agree with quite a lot of the points in the video. There's just a few things that because I don't know if you remember, but we went over it in like a live stream
Yeah,
and
I think I caught like the first third of it, but I didn't get around to finishing it yet. So I figured like, oh, we'll just talk about it on stream.
yeah, that's fine. I do agree with quite a lot of instances. It's mainly just a few things that I wanted to talk about. Little things.
All right.
The biggest thing that I wanted to talk about was the symbiote, because I'm not sure if you know, but the symbiote is actually it's not very well written in the film specifically. Like if you've only seen the film, it's not brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, but if you look at like the novelization for the film, as well as, well, the novelization is the only canon media, not like the video games and stuff. But it's like it doesn't defend how poorly executed it is in the film, but with the added context, I think it makes the film more like understandable.
Hmm.
And to an extent, I would argue it makes the film better in some areas.
Yeah, I've actually heard that there was some stuff in the novelization that clears up some of the writing in the movie, although it's still like, of course it should just be in the movie if they're gonna rely on a lot of this for the plot.
Agreed. You said, have you seen Joker's latest video? Will you respond?
I didn't have time to watch it, but I think we're definitely thinking of a live stream response to it, just for the funnies. But yeah, on the topic of the symbiote, um, let me just pull up my script because I believe I touched upon it most during the Venom or Peter sections where I talked about it. Um, and with the symbiote, I think like I guess the first problem that I have with it is just the mechanics of it, like how it actually works. Because it's a little weird to establish that it needs a host to survive, but then also have it willingly allow itself to be removed by Peter when there's a chance that he might just get rid of it.
What do you mean by that exactly?
So earlier in the movie, like before he actually fully detaches from it, he takes off the symbiote like it's cloth. In fact, they show he can do that like every time apparently. Every time he puts on the suit, it's still just like regular clothing. He takes it off, puts it back on, which is weird to me because the symbiote's meant to be like attached to him because it's a matter of survival. That's why in other adaptations when they just have it so the symbiote's in him but it automatically forms over him like in the 90s series or Spectacular. That always made more sense to me with the nature of how it works. I think mechanically just having it so he can remove it then put it back on, that's just weird.
Well, I will say they do something similar in Spectacular, in the earlier episodes, because it's like you have the part where he wakes up and he like picks up the symbiote, and it kind of resembles, I don't want to say cloth, but you can clearly tell it resembles like a Spider-Man mask and like part of the costume, and then it like latches onto him and like forms the black suit. So I don't think it's like too out of place. Um, for like the symbiote to be like its own separate thing. But I mean, this is where the novelization adds like greater context to the to how it works in the film. Because even in Spider-Man 3, like they kind of hint, like when Peter meets up with Dr. Connors and like gives him a sample of the symbiote, he implies that the longer it's like he implies in one of the scenes, it's either the first one or the second one, during the Bully Maguire like montage, that the longer it's bonded to Peter, the harder it is to separate it, because it like actually starts taking like asserting dominance within his body. You can even see like the simulation with the cells, like the symbiote cell actively starts attacking the other cells of the host. But the way I interpret it is there's kind of like two parts of the symbiote like arc, if you like. There's like part 1, part 2. Part 1 is obvious.
Oh shit. I forget that it moves you to a different thing because we did a private thing. Hold up. Sorry, I forgot that when you add people, it like creates a whole different thing. So that's just weird to me. But yeah, I added Comic Legend because he said he has a counterpoint. So I was just adding him in the background. You can keep going.
Which bit did you not hear?
So
like, where did you?
I basically left off on when you're talking about how in nature, when these things bind, they could be hard to unbind. That line you were talking about. And the implication.
Yeah, so there's like even in the film, there's a scene where Dr. Connors has like the Venom symbiote under like a scanner, and you can see like the symbiote cells start to attack the host cells. It's more of like a progression thing. But how it works in the novelization, it's kind of like a part 1 and a part 2. Kind of like how Insomniac can do it with like the black suit and the symbiote suit. Where it's like part 1 is...
Edward come out to play?
I saw the profile pic change. I knew what was happening. Anyway, go on.
I'm gonna have to be a bit quieter, but yeah, so part 1 of it is when it bonds with Peter in the apartment to debatably before he goes to Norman's apartment or Norman's penthouse. So it's like during this phase, he can take off the suit and he can last without the suit for like several hours, maybe even a day. But you can still see that there is like a degree of temptation. We see it with the when he's gonna go fight Sandman. We see it when he's going towards like Harry's penthouse. So it's like you can see there is like a degree of addiction to it. You are right when you say that they do this better than the Insomniac game, where you kind of like it's very inconsistent. And then you have sort of like part 2, which is basically everything else, where Peter basically wears the suit under his own clothes now. He permanently looks different. He's like acting goofy in public, and he's debatably acting more vicious when he's Spider-Man. You can see him basically like ragdolling motorcycles and shit in the newspapers. You can see him acting like significantly out of character when he gets Eddie fired from the Bugle. When he like uses, he basically treats Gwen like an object just to get back at MJ. So it's like that's kind of how it's implied in the novelization, which I think the film tries to portray. They just don't give enough time to it, so it kind of looks like messy.
Must be good. It's written by Peter David.
I mean, yeah, just judging by what I've heard about the novelization, it does more to dive into the Black Suit arc than we get in Spider-Man 3. They clearly rush it quite a bit. If the argument is that the symbiote just becomes more, I guess, difficult to detach yourself from, when, like, the more it, like, sticks with you or whatever, I guess that's fair. As far as, like, is that logically possible? I'll take that.
They actually do answer that question. So in the novelization, when he's, like, trying to remove the symbiote from the, in the church, Yeah, so they basically established that the reason he could remove it, like its clothing earlier in the earlier in the plot, is because the symbiote kind of like knew that Peter didn't want to break the bond, if that makes sense. So it's like it could see his thoughts. It knew that that Peter was happy bonded to it. So it basically allowed him to take it on and off whenever he wanted. To an extent, obviously, that's only at the start. But then at the church, it senses that Peter wants to separate the bond, and then it's a lot more resilient.
Also, it can always go back on Peter if it's at Peter's house versus trying to remove it from a church.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But there's even a line in the novelization where the
Looks like a
symbiote
certain
is
someone is
actively...
about to admit he made a bad faith argument. How do you feel about that, SK? How do you feel about that?
But,
I think
Fucking bad faith actor.
I think you
But yeah,
smell bad. I think you smell bad.
I'm not the one
But yeah,
making up
there's
plot holes like
even-
Grant Paulson. I think you smell like fucking shit right now, dude.
Yeah,
Talking about
there's,
me smelling bad. You're literally a Grant Paulson right now.
Yeah, there's even a line of dialogue in the novelization where the symbiote is like actively mocking Peter for like trying to remove it, and it's only like after he uses the sound waves that he starts having some success. Because the symbiote at that point is just permanently bonded to him and he can't separate it. Like they even mention in the books that Peter is like going all out, like using every ounce of his strength, and he can't even like begin to separate from the symbiote.
All right.
So yeah, the novelization makes it a lot better, but I hope that answers
Yeah,
the
definitely-
question as to why
Yeah,
why he can separate it
Um,
earlier, but he can't separate from it later.
Yeah, I definitely think the novelization seems to explain it better, based on
That's
how you're
Peter
recounting.
David.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, with the novelization, like the audiobook, the entire church sequence from Peter arriving to Eddie becoming Venom, it's like 45 minutes. So it's like they have a lot of detail for that shit.
He's a
Gotcha.
bitch.
So, Resus makes a really good point. This doesn't justify how poorly explained it is in the film, but you can kind of see that they tried going with that in the film. It was just poorly written. It's not like Insomniac Spider-Man where it's like all over the fucking place. You have no idea how this thing works because it just does whatever it wants whenever it's convenient for the plot.
Yeah, it's just kind of I think the difference between Spider-Man 3 and Insomniac Spider-Man 2 in terms of handling of the symbiote is that with Spider-Man 3, there are answers you could find. It's just kind of, it's not the best explained as far as like, from a perspective of dialogue or exposition. But, it's logically possible how a lot of this plays out. Whereas with Spider-Man 2, it's just all, like he said, it's all over the place. It keeps flip-flopping back and forth. There's no like explanation you can even think of for most of it.
It also changes its rules every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, that's it as well. It's like they try, at the very least, in some mediums like Spectacular, they make the symbiote a little bit more sympathetic. But in some, it's basically just an irredeemable monster.
Yeah.
No, man. It first learned to rage when Harry got mad that one time.
Yeah, it's like watching Colin's video genuinely shocked me. It's like it would be like if you tried implying that an Auschwitz survivor didn't learn fear during that entire time. Like it's so backwards.
It's wild.
But yeah, one of the points that I thought was a bit odd, I'd like if you could explain it better, is I'll just rewatch it. So when Bernard tells Harry the truth,
yeah.
There was a part where him saying that the blade like pierced Norman's body, like Norman died by his own hands. It's like earlier in that segment, when Harry discovers that Peter is Spider-Man, you acknowledge that Harry would learn that Peter isn't a killer because he could have killed Harry there and then, but instead he went to go stop Otto. But then you said in the Spider-Man 3 segment that I can't remember exactly what it said. Hold on. You tried saying that if like Venom killed
just
Venom
to,
tried killing Peter, so
Yeah, basically what I said is that it could have, from the information Harry gets, being that Norman was pierced by his own blade, that doesn't necessarily prove that Spider-Man didn't kill him. Because, Venom or MCU Spider-Man, they tried to use the glider to kill, a version of the Green Goblin. But of course, we would still say that they meant to kill their respective versions they were going after. So, it's just weird that Harry changes based on, oh, well, the blade was his, so it couldn't have been Spider-Man. But, why would that change him? That's the problem.
It just came across as contradictory, because it's like you acknowledged that Harry would be aware that Spider-Man isn't a killer, which is probably why he
Well, that's
when
the
he's
problem
when he's arguing with Norman in the mirror scene, he actively defends Peter. So
well,
it's
that's the
from his
problem with the
perspective.
setup.
Well, I agree, but it's just in the way it was framed in your video, it's you acknowledge that Harry thinks Peter isn't a killer, but then I don't know. It's
Well, the problem is that now that he does believe it, you need to explain why he would no longer believe he's a killer. And the only explanation they give us is that, well, he knows that Green Goblin's glider killed himself, that he was impaled by his own glider, therefore it couldn't have been Peter, even though Peter could have used the glider to kill him. There's so many different ways this could have played out.
I agree, but
It was the truth he was always denying. I think he always kind of had a feeling it was Norman who got himself killed.
I mean,
Yeah,
I just don't know why Bernard's whole chat with him changes him so quickly.
Because
Yeah, I
Bernard's
do-
the first person to actually fully just snap him to that reality that Norman was a bad person and was the Green Goblin, and he died from his own machinations,
well, I think the reason why it
which
works
he's
with
having trouble having to accept because he's Norman's son.
well, it's that's why I think it works coming from Bernard, because it's he's probably an unbiased party, because it's Harry has bias towards Norman because he's his son. Peter has bias against Norman because Spider-Man, Green Goblin. So I think it's coming from effectively the Alfred of the verse. I think that was what he needed.
I suppose, if the idea is that he just refused to believe Peter's side
You
because
suppose you're disingenuous?
well, if the idea is that he's meant to believe not believe Peter's side because he thinks he just has a bias towards his own, and then with Bernard's case, he's completely surprised that Bernard would ever go against Norman's side. I mean, I guess that's fair. I would still say that the change in his character is unearned because it's based
I
on
agree.
Bernard not delivering this information a while ago. That's still a very sloppy way to get that payoff.
Bernard
I
forgot.
agree. Yeah, especially in your response to that one dude that said that the Spider-Man films are mid. You outlined that Harry has literal years of resentment against Peter.
Right.
And he has resentment against him, not just for enabling Spider-Man, but also now he believes now he knows that Peter is Spider-Man, and he also believes that Peter stole MJ from him. So it's he has literal years of resentment. At the end of
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, he has even more resentment, and for it to basically all be forgiven because of one conversation, not even a conversation, it does come across as very rushed.
I just saw Alex say in chat, "No, don't concede." Should we bring Alex on? Alex,
Yes.
you can join if you'd like. Just let us know in chat, and we'll let you in. I mean, yeah, okay, that's a fair argument. I didn't really see the ending that way. But yeah, we
Is
both
your bad
agreed.
faith?
But like we both agreed, it's yeah, Bernard should have just spoken up a long time ago. So yeah, I guess that makes it a little bit better.
He clearly forgot.
Yeah, he clearly forgot. I would still
Fucking
stand
forgot.
by that. Harry's turn to even decide that Spider-Man is a killer and he wants to get back at him. I think that's still rushed, given the ending of Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Coming to Sandman, I think
Show me the bodies.
I mean, it's a similar issue with like No Way Home, where his morals are quite inconsistent. Where it's like he has that conversation with his wife saying he's not a bad guy, he's just had bad luck. But then it cuts to him like fucking ragdolling police cars and like causing giant destruction. I think the only time it's justified is in the second half of the film, where it's like, from his perspective, Spider-Man is actively sabotaging his attempts at saving his daughter. So it's like, I think him like trying to kill Spider-Man at that point is justified. I also think that
I don't agree with that.
Well, hold on, let me finish. When he reforms after being turned to mud for like a long ass time, I think it's kind of justified that he would be pissed at like Black Suit Spider-Man, and I think it's really cool that like he mistakes Venom for Peter and like has him on his ass and nearly like beats his fucking face in. But I think the issue with it is I think he like, again, it's like inconsistent morals where Venom easily sways him to the notion of killing Spider-Man, when it's like Marco has like throughout the film he's been
planning to kill him.
Well, it's like we're expected to believe that
Spider-Man.
Well, it's like we're expected to believe that he's like neutral towards Spider-Man. It's like he's just kind of like an obstacle in his way. Like he doesn't really give a fuck about him. Kind of like Doc Ock, I suppose, where it's like he doesn't really give a shit. He has like an end goal, and like Peter has nothing to do with it. But it's like if we're supposed to believe that he's not a killer, and then he's just like, all right, yeah, sure, let's team up and fuck over Spider-Man in an unfair fight that he has no chance of winning. It's like it does come across as very contradictory.
I think
it's like,
I think the big problem with Sandman is just that you establish that he's regretful for accidentally killing Uncle Ben. He never wanted to hurt anyone. He says to Spider-Man, "I don't want to hurt you," but then he just needlessly hurts so many people for no reason when he's like invulnerable, almost invulnerable.
Also, one of the biggest problems I have with Sandman, with the whole, he's got, the reason he wants to kill Spider-Man is because Spider-Man almost killed him, is like, that is so overtly, insanely contextual that he was even in danger, that it's just stupid. Sandman is basically immortal, and Spider-Man can't really do anything to him. Why does just ignore him?
Well, no, I don't think it's obviously, like, Spider-Man can't really kill Sandman, like, that's not the issue. The issue as to why I think Sandman would try kill Spider-Man is because, like, Peter's already proven that he will do anything necessary. Granted, it was with the black suit, but he's proven that he will, like, stop Sandman at all costs. He has, like,
Yeah, but if he's, like, robbing a bank to, like, get money for his daughter and Spider-Man comes in, like, what can Spider-Man realistically do to him?
Well, no, I don't think it's, from Sandman's perspective, I don't think he's worried for his own safety. I think he's just worried for his daughter's safety. And every time Spider-Man interferes, he's costing his daughter more and more time. So it's like, I think after a while, even if it was like the second or third time, he would just be like, all right, fuck you. Like, I'm going to kill you now because my daughter's going to die any second now. And it's all your fault at this point.
Wouldn't that be wasting time if he's trying to save his daughter so quickly? To, like, waste time trying to go after a guy that can't even stop him?
Well, no. I mean, like, if he was robbing a bank and Spider-Man showed up again. That's what I mean.
Yeah, just walk through him. He literally can't hurt you. You're made out of sand.
I think the reason... I think it goes a little bit deeper than whether or not he wants... if he's concerned about his daughter being saved and Spider-Man getting in the way. I think there's also a level of spite that they're trying to imply in the movie, because, Venom says to him, I want to kill the spider, you want to kill the spider, so there's like a degree, like there's a desire there after he tried to kill him. It's a revenge thing, basically.
I do think that is poorly built up, because it's like, I don't think the idea of Sandman wanting to kill Spider-Man is like out of the question, but I just think it's like too sudden. Like, he takes, like, one L to Spider-Man, and all of a sudden he wants to, like, kill him.
Yeah, Guys, I really regret killing Uncle Ben. By the way, I want to fucking kill the superhero. Fuck that guy.
I regret killing Uncle Ben. I really want to kill his fucking nephew. But I'd also like to point out as well, I don't think that the Spider-Man 3 game makes it better. Because in that version, Venom basically blackmails Sandman. He kidnaps Sandman's daughter and he's like, alright, you help me kill Spider-Man or I kill your daughter. I don't even think that makes it better, because it's like, the fuck is Venom gonna do against Sandman?
Kill his daughter?
Well, no, I mean... well, yeah, but it's like, I don't know how that's supposed to be like leverage, because it's like, surely Sandman would just fuck him up before he can kill his daughter.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of, it's unpredictable, right? So he has his daughter whipped up. If Venom really wanted to, he could just speed blitz and, like, punch her in the face, punch her head off.
Yeah, I think it's rushed in the,
They also show, before he reveals he has his daughter, that he easily dodged Sandman trying to punch him.
Yeah.
It's like
he jumps right out of the way, and he's like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, I got your daughter, by the way.
Well, it's like, even if you defend that bit, I think that it makes the interaction with Peter and Sandman worse, because it's like, they don't even, like, apologize to each other. It's like, at the end of the game, Sandman's just like, oh yeah, Spider-Man, no hard feelings, I was blackmailed, my daughter's safe now, we good? And Spider-Man's just like, yeah, we're good.
It is a bit rushed in the game.
They basically get rid of that amazing sequence where, granted, it's inconsistent with his morals, but even so, it's one of the best sequences in the trilogy, where it's like, Peter forgives Sandman, but they basically throw that out the window in the PS3 game.
Yeah. Well, I played the Wii version as well. I just found it funny how, like, they kind of watered down the big payoffs. Like, when Harry dies, Peter's just like, oh, Harry. Oh.
No, Harry.
No, please, show mercy.
The one thing that I think they did really well in the games that they should have brought to the film was, I think it was in the PS2 version, where after Peter gets the black suit, he has some missions where he is aware that the symbiote is making him more aggressive, and he like actively tries going back to the red and blues, but after a while he just can't resist the temptation anymore, and then he goes back to the black suit for like until the clock tower sequence. It's like, I think that would have been cool in the film.
I'd also want Morbius in the movie, like in the game.
But yeah, so with Sandman, I think we all agree that Sandman's the weakest villain in the movie. Has the most problems. Yeah.
Power-wise, that's different.
Yeah. Just talking strictly about character.
Yeah, I guess we can move on to Venom and Eddie Brock. What were the issues you had with Venom again?
So my main issues with Venom is that he's mostly just rushed into the movie. He isn't really given the proper screen time to flesh out his motivations or understand, I guess, how becoming Venom changes him.
I understand.
How it changes, like, you know, his view of himself, how it changes, you know, like what he wants to do with his life. They don't really touch upon that. And he's just, he gets to a point where he's just like, oh, I like being bad, it makes me happy. He doesn't even care anymore if he can really justify his actions. He just is like, okay, I'm a bad person, but I find it funny. And then
Eddie Brock's just a cartoon villain, and there's no sympathetic quality to him at all.
I do agree with this. I think that of all of the villains to come back in No Way Home, I think Venom made the most sense. Because I think he had, well, number one, he fit all the criterias that No Way Home established. He was the only villain aside from Norman that actually did fit all the criterias, and yet he just wasn't brought back, which is bullshit, but it is what it is. But I do agree he was very like poorly established. Like his first scene in the movie is literally him just saying, "Yeah, I date your daughter," to the fucking police captain. He is like, it's very difficult to, because I do agree he is like poorly established, but I watched High Top's Vilm's video on Spider-Man 3, and you know, say what I know, he's like a big rider for the Raimi trilogy, but he does make an interesting comparison where, I mean, it's not really like revolutionary, it's kind of common sense, but it's like he's like, okay, so Eddie Brock is like the evil version of Peter Parker, Venom's like the evil version of Spider-Man. It's like, okay, yeah, no shit, like what do you expect? But I do think it's kind of interesting how they do it in this film, because it's like, for the most part, like Venom like does have the exact same powers and abilities as Spider-Man. Like, I know that in recent media they gave him like tendrils, which you can argue if that's good or bad. But it's like, I like that this version of Venom has literally the exact same shit. Like,
I don't even agree with the evil version of Peter angle, because the bad version of Peter would still be a character with a lot more depth and in like more sympathetic qualities than what Eddie Brock is. Because like Peter's an asshole before the responsibility shit, because he's been like bullied, he's like an outcast and all the shit, and like, you know, all that teenage angst and whatnot. He's a loner, and that kind of makes him very pessimistic around people and shit. It's like, if you did that, fine, but they didn't do that. It's just, what if Peter is just not a person and was just a dickhead?
Well, I would argue that that's not even the biggest issue with the comparison. I think the biggest issue with it is the fact that Peter is also an asshole in Spider-Man 3. So it's like, it wouldn't even be like a good comparison between the two. It's like, Peter is literally a dickhead in this film. Like, he's very egotistical, very full of himself, very angry towards Sandman. So it's like, if you were to try portray like one being evil and one being not, it's like they're very similar. It's like it's kind of like, again, it's kind of like the Insomniac problem, where it's like every character is the exact same. They're all really nice, intelligent people. They're all really shy, mild-mannered. It's like, fucking throw a dart, you'll probably have the same character.
Also, it just feels really baby brain for it to be Venom who's the evil version of Spider-Man. It's like, he looks like evil Spider-Man. It's evil Spider-Man. It's like, that's so brain dead to me. Because we've already done evil Spider-Man. His name is Dr. Otto Octavius, bro. Like, in Spider-Man 2, that's essentially who it is. You know, he has Peter's gifted intelligence. He has his own version of Mary Jane. The only difference is his life is on a better track because he doesn't have that responsibility to be Spider-Man. But once like a tragedy happens that's his fault, he doesn't blame himself like Peter did with Uncle Ben, and he turns into a supervillain. We got that. That's Doc Ock in the fucking second movie.
Well, like,
why do we need that again?
It's like, I'd also point out as well, Venom suffers the worst from like the rushed villains, because it's like, at the very least in like Spectacular in the 90s show, they kind of foreshadow Peter becoming Venom. Like in the 90s show, you see like Venom in the reflection. I think at the end of episode 2 of the alien costume, or episode 1 maybe.
It's in the end of episode 1.
Because episode 3 is where Venom's in the scene. And then in Spectacular, obviously, you have like Peter basically being vicious whilst unconscious, like the symbiote taking control of him. But it's like in Spider-Man 3, it's like there's no build-up of him becoming a monster at all until he's literally tearing off the symbiote. And like, you kind of get a glimpse of Venom's face as he's tearing off the suit. It comes across as very rushed.
Yeah.
I think Spectacular does it the best because of the fact that like they don't go and tell you, look out, he's gonna be Venom, he's gonna be evil, guys. It's more so just the symbiote. It's like just really quiet and like just kind of like an animal when it fights the Sinister Six. It's not even like evil or good. It's just,
it's just neutral.
My master wants this to happen. Time to beat up the bad guys.
Well, I'd also point out something way worse as well that's actually kind of damning. So it's like, the symbiote has... I'm assuming that it can sustain itself when it's like traveling through deep space, like in the meteorite. But it's like, surely when it lands, it has to immediately bond to something for its own survival. But it's like,
why does it latch onto Peter's motorbike, ignore 2 hosts, it gets driven back to his apartment, and it stays in his apartment like a fucking spider for like several days before it then chooses to bond to Spider-Man?
I think that's like a thing I've always found really annoying about a lot of symbiote adaptations.
Why doesn't it just die? Like, it needs something to survive, and it's just chilling.
My issue is, it's so, because Insomniac did this, and it's fat, and they never explain this. Why is Peter the chosen one for this fucking symbiote? Every time it's like, oh, it is you it wants specifically. Whoa! And it's like, dog, who cares? Why do you want Peter so badly? I don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing you can assume is that because it wants someone powerful to take over the world.
He has superpowers, duh! Well, yeah, I hear that shit, and I'm like, dog, the symbiote is like a survival. It's like a fucking survival, like, virus shit. It's an animal. It's not some conqueror, bro. So I don't understand.
Well, also, it doesn't even work in that regard, because if it wanted to get somebody powerful, why not get Kraven, who beat Spider-Man?
Or like get Lizard or Tombstone.
This is why Spectacular has the best version of the story, because once it was free in Connors' lab, it doesn't try to go to Peter. It just fucking tries to leave, and Peter just lands on it, and it grabs onto him.
I like how there's basically like 2 ways of doing the symbiote. So it's like you have the 90s show and Spectacular, where it's kind of like an accident that it bonds with Peter. Like he was just in the wrong place at the right time.
Hell yeah.
Where there's nothing significant about Peter bonding to the symbiote. It just chose him because he was like there. But I like the other side of the story where it's like, okay, the symbiote chooses Peter because it senses that he's like the perfect host, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever. But it's like in Spider-Man 3, they don't take either example, where it's like, okay, the symbiote just latches onto the bike, presumably because there's 2 hosts there. It has several opportunities to bond with Spider-Man, and it doesn't. And then it just bonds with Peter when he's asleep. So it's like, there's no, like, evidence as to why the symbiote chose to bond with Peter. Because it's like, with some adaptations, it's like, it bonds with him because of, like, anger. Like, he senses the emotions that Peter has. There's other instances where it's an accident, but it's like, in Spider-Man 3, it's just really vague. It's like, okay, it bonds with Spider-Man. Why? Like,
reasons.
It's like MJ was right there. Like, it had 2 occasions, 2 opportunities to bond with MJ when she was alone and defenseless, and it just chose not to. It's like, why? We don't know.
So
it's really weird.
Alex says, wrong, Liam. In Spider-Man 2, the symbiote chose Peter because he's an easier target to exploit.
Well, why wouldn't it just stay with Harry then?
What?
How do you determine easier target?
Exploit for what?
Why would you not just choose Harry then? Surely he's the easiest target.
Well, I'm just confused what that even means. What do you mean easier target? Like, for what purpose doesn't want to exploit fucking Peter?
How would you know who's easiest to exploit?
Yeah. And if anything, why would you choose the fucking superhero?
Yeah, it's very contradictory, but it's like, that's basically the issues I had with Venom, where it's just very weird. I also think, do you agree that there's like a reoccurring joke in the Raimi trilogy where it's like, even if you beat Peter's ass, he just gets like a rage boost and he just like wins. It's like he does it in pretty much all 3 films. I think
back when Spider-Man was respected.
I think it's kind of where it's like with Green Goblin, it's like he's fatigued, about to die, and then he gets angry and just flawless victories Norman. Like, I think that's it's not, because at the very least Spider-Man 1 establishes that Spider-Man is more powerful than Norman, so it's like plausible for that to happen.
No one says no to me.
The same thing you could argue with Doc Ock, because it's like Doc Ock's arms are impressive, but he is just a dude at the end of the day. So it's like Peter could fuck him up if he actually wanted to. But it's like, I don't buy the argument that Peter can just get angry and then just flawless victory Venom. Like, that seems really weird. It's like the exact opposite problem of Insomniac, where it's like in Insomniac he's comically
Well, doesn't he
weak
use
against
sound to
Venom,
beat Venom?
and in Spider-Man 3
He does use sound, yeah.
Well, no, he uses sound, but it's like he breaks free from like 2 strands of his webbing and like knocks Venom back, like basically has him on his ass like very quickly. Like it comes and it's like you have.
Well, yeah, you
they're
like
relative
smacked
to
him
each
one
other.
time, and then he played Miles'
like-
beats, and then
it's like
Venom
when,
couldn't handle it.
You even have that sequence where he separates Brock from Venom, and then Venom becomes like big scary monster, and it's like, oh shit, they're gonna fight. But then Peter just hits the bars again and just gets rid of it. Like it's kind of strange. It's like they basically pull that ability out of nowhere, and it has no payoff. I just
Yeah,
think
I
it's
don't
really.
understand why they did that. That was weird.
It's like, I think it's just the opposite of Insomniac, where it's like he's just in those games he's just laughably weak against Venom, but then in Spider-Man 3 at the end he's like comically overpowered against Venom.
I wouldn't say that, because he did exploit Venom's weakness.
Well, it's like even before then, it's like Venom like leaps towards Peter, yet Peter still has so much time to like break free from his webs and then just knock him back. It just seems
I
really
think that's
strange.
fine. Venom overextended and he just got his fucking shit kicked in for a sec.
I think the implication is that Venom got too confident because, he killed his friend, he has him webbed up, he's in the symbiote, so there's inherently going to be like that ego boost that he gets, and that's why he doesn't think about the fact that Peter's going to hit him and then use his weakness to exploit him.
I mean, throughout most of the final fight, Venom's kind of toying with Peter. He could just kill him really quickly if he wanted to. He like literally they show in the film that Peter like charges at him and he just backhands him like in the first part of the fight.
Well, that's
My
part of the
spider
reason.
sense tingling, if you know what I'm talking about. He fucking backhands him. It's like, fuck you, Peter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like with what Reese has said, it's not that he gets a power boost, it's that he always holds back and he gets angry and motivated and unleashes his strength. It's like, I think that's believable for every villain in the trilogy except Sandman and Venom, because it's like they are just objectively more powerful than him.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the idea of how he beats Sandman and Venom. They might be more powerful, but he makes use of their weaknesses in order to win.
Yeah.
It's like,
Also, he didn't beat Sandman. It was Harry that beat Sandman because he has grenades that can, turn him into glass.
Yeah.
I just think the final fight against Venom was very like rushed. Like, I think it would have been better if we saw more of like Peter's agility, like more of his intelligence. Because it's like I
I'd
know that-
definitely love to see them like fight more in general.
Well, I agree, but
Venom
I
should have
think,
been like not
it's like,
killed
it
off
just-
in the movie and set up for another movie.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I think it would have been better to see like, because even in Insomniac, not Insomniac, in Spectacular with the school fight, it's like Peter never really lands any big hits on Venom, and anytime he does, it's like via his
he combos him a
intelligence.
few times.
I mean, true, but like they don't really do much. And most of the time, he's like using sound waves. He's using the environment. He finishes him off with the gene cleanser, and that's like. Even then, Venom has him on his ass. It's like I think it's better like that way, where it's like they make it like abundantly clear Peter can't really take Venom in a fair fight. But then in Spider-Man 3, it's like I just think they could have given if they'd made like the fight scene like 20 seconds longer and just like established like Peter had a battle plan or some shit. Like he slows Venom down with like by webbing something, and then he like does what he does in the film. I think that would have been fine.
I think ideally I like it if it's that like Peter can contend with Venom, but like in order for Peter to actually beat him, he it's like the skin of his teeth. He can only just barely win in a fight.
Yeah, but it's like I think that's the issue I have with Spider-Man 3, where it's like Peter basically has him in a cage of like the sound wave things. It's like Peter he's got such a ridiculous advantage, it doesn't even matter.
I mean, that's like the thing I don't like about a lot of symbiote shit. It's even a problem in the 90s show. Venom like outright losing to the supersonic shit is stupid. I think it just kind of lessens the stakes because like what I like about Spectacular is that it's not
He
that
has like a
easy to
tolerance
get
to
him.
it. Yeah, he
Yeah,
has like a degree of tolerance to it.
yeah, like when he's hitting the lockers, like that didn't work. Venom just went, that was unpleasant. And it's like,
Oh,
oh
great!
fuck.
Now he's mad.
Oh great, now he's mad. It's like, yeah, you can't just beat him that way. Or like, you know,
Also, what do you think? Do you think it's
That's
it's
true
stupid?
because... Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, do you think it's stupid that it took Peter like that long to realize that its weakness was sound waves, even though he used sound waves to get rid of it at the church? Do you think that that's out of character for Spider-Man, or do you think that's fair?
I just don't think he saw the opportunity until then.
Well, no, but it's like in how it's portrayed in the film is he's like looking at the bars as they're falling, and he's looking at Venom, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
When
I
I
think
that's
that's...
tore
just
off
for
the
the
symbiote.
audience.
Yeah, I think that's one for the audience, and two, a realization he has the opportunity to take him down.
he like formulates a plan, kind of."
I mean, you could say that, like, flashing back to it is a bit too much for the audience, because we did see in the film, oh, so ringing the bell made it react poorly, and we can kind of just put that together ourselves. You
It
could
treats
say
its
in
audience like an
presentation.
idiot. I'm gonna be straight up.
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Especially since like him tearing off the symbiote was like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah,
like
it wasn't that long ago.
ago.
So it's like, yeah,
15 minutes max.
I think all
Like,
they really needed to do was just show Peter realizing, oh, I have this opportunity now, and then, you know, show that, okay, he has a plan.
yeah.
That would be better.
That's fair. As for MJ, I don't have any issues with her. You nailed it.
Yeah, I pretty much have that one issue, and that's pretty much it. I think most of the film, she's fairly reasonable. She's really a victim in most of this film, too, so...
Yeah. Now for Peter.
Yeah, that was my biggest disappointment with the movie.
The first bit, I guess, is the part where he's in Central Park, like at night,
Yeah.
just chilling on a web. You say that was bad writing, right? Like,
Yeah,
out
it's
of
a smaller
character.
thing, but it's like, you know, he's just not being careful with his identity.
Well, the funny thing about that specific example is I can excuse that example because it's like, okay, I'm assuming it's late at night, so there's probably not many people around. He's got coverage from the trees. And also, they establish multiple times that, like, superhumans in this verse are just, like, they can disappear in an instant if they really want to. So it's like, I don't think it's... I think the biggest issue with this scene is that it's not even the worst example of him doing this. Because there's two examples of him being without his mask on that I think are way worse. The first one, when he arrives at the parade and he's not got his mask on, it's like, yeah, they're all facing Gwen Stacy, but it only takes one person to just like look up and it's like, oh shit, he's not got his mask on. And then the second example
the
is
implication was that he was so far they could barely, like, you know, tell what's there.
well, I think it just comes across as worse, where it's like, okay, the first one is at night, he's got coverage from the trees, and there's probably not many
Well,
people around.
I guess,
versus
to be fair,
in
because
broad daylight.
I've
and-
seen people actually at, like, you know, at Central Park at night still. There's still a lot of people that are around. I mean, it's the reason it's called the city that never sleeps. There's always going to be people around. And, like, I think with the case of him being on the building, it's at least easier to, like, put a mask on immediately versus, I guess he has to leave the area with MJ while they're, like, on this web, which it's a little more, I guess it's a little bit more of an awkward position to try to remove yourself from when someone shows up.
But like, I think the biggest issue with that specific scene is it would raise questions as to why she is with Spider-Man to begin with. So it's like that could kind of risk his identity, but it's like,
I think the most
I
you
don't know,
could
it's
say
like-
is that maybe his spider sense would help him maintain awareness of the area, but even then, it's like, okay, the moment you sense someone, you have to act very quickly, and they could still see you regardless.
I think the worst example of him doing this in the actually no, I've just realized there's two. I've just thought of another example where he does this. The one that I wanted to talk about was after the Sandman fight. Like everyone is there watching. He swings up onto a rooftop, which everyone would notice because he's like the most important celebrity figure in the city because they were going to give him the keys to the city, and he just takes off his mask and he's just chilling there, like on the edge of the building where anyone could see him.
I mean, I think that one is a bit different because they at least imply that, one, he tried to go somewhere where it would at least be a rarity that they would see him, and two, there was sand all over his mask, which makes it hard for him to even see at all. So I think at that point, it's like, I think it's fair that he wants to just find a convenient area as quick as possible, then remove the sand out so he can actually, you know, traverse. It's gonna be unsafe to traverse if he just has sand all over his face.
Yeah.
It has spider sense.
It just comes across as like really awkward. It's like you couldn't have gone higher up. You couldn't have like got away from the edge, so no one can like look up and see you from street level. Like, it just comes across as like a little irresponsible.
I think in this case, it's taking a risk, but I mean, I think it's justified.
This isn't a risk. This is suicide.
I think it's justified in the context of trying to like make sure he can even see if he gets around. He just went to a quick and convenient area, and even then, they do establish that, because they showed in the first Raimi movie, that with his spider sense, he has basic awareness of the area, even when he's not particularly looking there. So, he could just bank on that if he needs to.
It's like, couldn't that be used to excuse the example that you gave in your video?
Not exactly, because even if he were to do that, it would just be very awkward to try to avoid, because it's like an open park area. So let's say somebody shows up, he senses it, he has to grab her, then leave in this open air. Like, it's a really awkward position to try to disappear from, versus if he senses someone, right? He just has to move his face away, put his mask on. You know, he could do one or the other.
Gotcha. I think there was one other example I was going to bring up, but I remembered why this happened. In the final battle, when he falls from the great height, when he fights Venom, like midair, and he's on his ass with his mask off when like everyone is there, including like the news crew. But then I remembered why that happened. It's because Venom like tore his mask off.
Yeah.
So.
And as I recall, he put it back on, right?
Yeah, he puts it on like more or less straight away.
Yeah. Which, you know, I do appreciate, you know, despite Spider-Man 3 being a flawed movie, at least you know, they're still thinking about these things. It's not flawless, but at least they're still thinking about these details. Whereas, like in the MCU, for example, they don't care at all about the fact he has a secret identity. Like, no one cares.
Reese's asks a good question. Which Spider-Man kept his identity secret the best? I'm assuming he means of the live-action ones.
If we're talking live-action, Raimi easily.
Very rarely do people know he's Spider-Man, and the people that know it's either like really, really, really unfair circumstances, like the cut on Peter's arm when he doesn't even know who the Green Goblin would be,
and he didn't even notice like the blood seeping through his shirt.
Such a specific example. Or detail.
I mean,
yeah, there's Mary Jane, where I guess he was a little he could have put on his mask after he talked to Otto. He revealed it to Otto like under his own volition. He was unconscious when Harry figured out. So,
could you?
I mean, I think like he was just prioritizing getting Otto to see reason. That's why he overlooked MJ in that instance.
I guess to some extent, I mean, it's between Toby and Andrew, because Tom is easily the worst for his secret identity.
Yeah, Tom doesn't not give a fuck.
Isn't Andrew pretty bad?
Andrew's pretty bad too.
Bro literally signed his work on his camera.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, that one I don't actually have a problem with that, because...
Well, clearly you haven't watched one of the best episodes of Spectacular then.
Don't sign your work, Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, quick tip, Master Planner. If you don't want people to know who you are, don't sign your work, Dr. Octopus.
The reason I'm okay with that in The Amazing Spider-Man is because from
You're a shill.
I think the movie's bad, but from Peter's perspective,
I don't believe you think that.
oh, fuck you, bitch.
I think you're a shill.
From Peter's perspective, right? The Lizard isn't actually that tough of an enemy, and this is a newer Spider-Man, so he's gonna be a little bit more overconfident in his abilities. He's not going to be as careful.
So he crisis scaled fucking Lizard and underestimated him. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the bridge fight, he knocks him down once. Lizard goes running away in fear, seemingly. So it's not like the Lizard's going to be very tough for him to fight. And as for the camera, I mean, generally he leaves his name on the camera just, you know, in the event it gets lost. Yeah, as he was Peter Parker before he got his powers. Now it's just like, yeah, he could just web it up. He doesn't expect Lizard to find it. He thinks he's gonna win that fight. And then
I'd also point out as well, the only reason Lizard does find it is because it flashes like at the worst possible time.
Yeah,
like,
that's
there's
a
like
good point
one
as well.
strand of webbing left on his shoulder. He like pulls it, it triggers the camera, and Lizard notices it. But it's like, to an extent, you could argue Andrew is better than Toby. Reason being is because not all the supervillains discover his identity, but it's like at the same time he is like.
I wouldn't.
Otto didn't really discover his identity though until like he essentially died.
Well, no, I was gonna say because to an extent, like
Venom used mods.
I was gonna say to an extent, like they're tied because it's like, okay, Toby revealed his identity to Otto. Andrew revealed his identity to Gwen, so it's like I feel like they kind of equalize at parts. But I do think that to an extent, I think what makes Toby just more impressive in general is that he kept his identity a secret for a lot longer. Like 5 years versus like 2 years for Andrew.
I think what changes things quite a bit is that with Toby's case, he revealed his identity, but in order to save the world. If he didn't do that, then he probably would never have reached Otto. With the case of Amazing Spider-Man, I mean, he didn't really have a reason to tell Gwen at that point. He doesn't know if she even believes what Captain Stacy and the police or whatever are saying about Spider-Man. That's a question he asks her later after he's already told her, which I think is a weird order to do this in. But even setting that aside, I mean, there's just instances where he's blatantly just reckless, like when he throws the football in the football field. It's like, okay, people would notice that.
I'm okay with that.
Wait.
Oh wait, no, that one. Oh, sorry, I was thinking the basketball one for some reason.
Well, no,
I was talking about the football one where he's throwing the football.
Well, I guess I'd say, wasn't that like an accident though?
No, it wasn't. He deliberately threw it like as far as he could.
It's like I'd also point out as well, you know, in TASM 2, that really awesome moment where he like acts like a dickhead to like those 3 guys to like buy Gwen time to escape. It's like,
oh, the Looney Tunes scene.
It's like he fires a strand of web in a corridor that almost certainly has people, and if it doesn't have people, it has security cameras. Yeah, it's like
it has cameras. You idiot.
But I'd also point out something. Here's something that I've never understood about Spider-Man 2, TASM 2. So it's established in the film that Oscorp has had Peter under surveillance all his life. So it's
no, that's a trailer line. That's not in the movie anymore.
No, it is in the movie. There's a scene where like Harry shows Peter like files and files of like screenshot.
He's got files on top of files.
I swear down, it's in the film.
No, you're getting it confused with the trailer. They deleted that.
I swear down that scene is in the film.
I think it's good they deleted it. That they don't have, you know, Oscorp has had you under surveillance. That would have been bad if they did and they didn't know. But
stuff to swing back on.
What I was gonna say was, so let's say for the sake of argument that is canon, right? Like they've had him under surveillance all this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking miracle that no one knew he was Spider-Man, even though it's his father's blood that made the spiders, and Oscorp would know this. But it's like, how the fuck does Harry find out that Peter is Spider-Man at the end? Like that comes out of nowhere.
I think it's because of like how he was like clearly specifically concerned for Gwen, I think the problem is Peter shouldn't fucking keep having Gwen around him when he's fucking Spider-Man, because of course people are gonna start figuring that out.
I mean, in fairness, he did try keep Gwen out of the final
Well, he didn't know
battle.
that Green Goblin would show there.
Yeah, well,
No, I also think it's like
fair.
I think it's
I
a
don't know.
bit.
Gwen, I
bit
guess
of a
I'll say
stretch
Gwen
where
is
it's
stupid
like-
for that.
It's like I think it's a bit of a stretch to like look at Spider-Man, look at a civilian, and instantly assume it's Peter Parker.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the only thing you could possibly argue is that Peter looks a little bit extra protective with Gwen in like his body language. It's almost like there's like a connection there more than just, you know, he's protect. I mean, it would kind of be
Well, the fact that
suspicious
Gwen
how
out
it-
of anyone is assisting Spider-Man, like that's
Yeah.
already suspicious as fuck.
Yeah. That's probably what he's working with here, especially since she's kind of aware that, you know, oh, everything with Peter's complicated. You know, there's something he's hiding all the time. It's suspicious that he has this connection to Spider-Man, brings him over, Spider-Man gives the same non-committal reasons. I think there's enough for him to, like, you know, kind of form a picture there. But, like, yeah, on the topic of if Andrew is good at keeping his identity a secret, I mean, there's times in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 where he's really bad at it. Like when Gwen is going to a college interview, he swings in his street clothes just to talk with her. I don't know why he did that. There's also the fact that
He also shows up to graduation with his Spider-Man mask on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they did establish that was a mistake on his
Well,
part.
no, but like even so, like you take off all of the costume except the fucking mask. Like, how do you fuck that up?
Looney Tunes.
I guess, yeah. You also have the fact that he puts his suit in with Aunt May's laundry, like while she's doing the laundry. I don't know why he does that when you could just go to a laundromat somewhere in the city, put in money, and then put the
Which is what
suit
Peter
in.
does in Spider-Man 2. Granted, it's a deleted scene, but he
No,
was
it's
smart
in the
enough
film.
to do that.
It's not deleted.
Oh, is it? Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. It's just
I
yeah.
thought
I
it
don't
was
know.
I know that the scene where Peter reads poetry in Spider-Man 2, I know that's in the film, but I thought the part with his laundry, I thought that was part of a deleted scene.
Nah, that was always part of the theatrical as well.
Oh, 2.1.
No.
that-
Just it's in both 2.1 and just the regular theatrical cut.
Oh, I must have missed that then.
Yeah, so you know that's something he could do. He could also do the laundry when she's not home. There's so many different ways he could do the laundry, but he's just like, nah, I'm gonna do it while Aunt May is doing it, which is just silly. You also have him in the school, in the first movie where he just unmasks himself after the lizard fight, which is weird. They also established in that same movie that he went from Gwen's place to the bridge. He swung there in his street clothes. I don't know why he did that.
True. Yeah, now that I think about it, he's definitely not as good as Toby at that shit.
Yeah.
To some, you could do. I was gonna say, like, when you put it like that, he's possibly like approaching Tom Holland levels of bad.
I think what makes Tom Holland specifically worse, well, one example that just stands out is in Far From Home, where he's talking with his mask off in what he thinks is a public bar next to a famous superhero that's going to be the next Avenger, and he's talking about superhero stuff, Iron Man stuff, Mysterio stuff, Spider-Man stuff, literally around all of these people where they can hear their conversations. Like, I
Yeah,
think-
but he's Night Monkey, so you're being disingenuous again.
Oh, okay. I mean, hey, he literally talks about, you know, Tony wanted this, and that. So it's like,
Yeah, Night Monkey's associated with Tony Stark. That's crazy.
yeah, he
So,
also happens to have the same
basically-
face as Peter Parker. That's interesting.
Within
Yeah,
all this point,
luckily he's in a different country. Luckily he's not in America, bro.
I
Most
think
people
this
don't know
is-
what Peter Parker
this
looks
is-
like.
This is just what makes it worse too, is that at least in the Toby era, not everybody just had smartphones and like high definition cameras where they could just snap a photo and get his face. In the MCU, you have to account for that, and they don't.
it's like I think what makes
You
the
could say it's
instant.
defect.
It's like I'd also point out as well.
They're deep fakes. They're deep fakes.
Fucking Miles Morales ending. No, it wasn't me. It was your deep fakes.
It's like I think what makes I think we'll all agree that Spider-Man 3 is probably the worst film when it comes to him keeping his identity a secret, because it's like in 1 and 2 he's like mostly really good at it, and it's like at the very least in Spider-Man 1 you have the excuse of him being inexperienced, but I think what makes, like in the train scene where like everyone sees him unmasked, it's like I think what makes that scene work is that there's like a massive payoff to it, where it's like I think the part where they carry him like Jesus, I think that's a bit like on the nose, but
didn't like that
like,
much.
Yeah, but it's like the part where they're all like reassuring him, they're like, yeah, we're gonna keep your identity a secret, like we're just happy to have you back. It's like I think that moment works because there's like it's like the gratitude where they're not gonna sell him out, they're not gonna like fuck him over. But it's like we just don't have many of those moments anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I think it's just it's kind of wild that we're at a place where it's like the you're all wrong, whatever you're talking about. Nice to see you too, Yash. I think it's kind of wild that we're at a place where Peter in Spider-Man 3 looks good in comparison to like the new Spider-Man stuff we get. It's like, yeah, at least
I would rather have Spider-Man 3 than any of the movies that came after Spider-Man 3.
Well, like, just compare him defeating Venom to how Peter defeats, Scorpion in Friendly Neighborhood. It's like, damn, it's just night and day. It's way better in Spider-Man 3.
I guess,
at least Spider-Man still wins his fucking fights in that shit movie.
Because we've been on the identity thing for a while. The next thing you mentioned with Peter is the crane scene where he like saves Gwen and then just fucks off. I think the issue with this is it's damaging for Peter's character, definitely, but I think it's one of those where it's like the film from like out of the movie's perspective, from the audience perspective, it's like you do get the line of dialogue from the crane operator saying that they're gonna like shut down the power, which results in the crane being stopped. The issue with that though is that like the film expects us to believe that Peter knows that, but it's like there's no point where it's like he shows up, saves Gwen, chills in front of Eddie Brock, and then just fucks off. It's like there's no way he could have known that. It's like the only argument at that point you have is Spider-Sense, but it's like how fucking complicated does the Spider-Sense have to be for it to be like, okay, crane up there, power being shut off, all is good. Like
I hear the wing flaps of a fly, so I don't know. You can maybe say that.
I think how the scene should have been constructed is by having him drop off Gwen, say, "Are you okay?" She says, "I'm fine, thank you." He goes up and just, you could show him checking on the crane just to be sure. Or you can just have him literally look up and show the crane stopping, and then he'll just be like, "Okay, we're all good." And then Eddie's like, "Hey, Bugle needs a photo." And
I'm boring.
I'm boring. I'm cartoonishly evil.
Because it's like
I have no redeeming traits, and I'm Venom because Sam Raimi doesn't understand how to read comic books.
And the thing that's really frustrating about this is that they actually do get this right in Spider-Man 3, because the part where he loses to Sandman and like he's like looking for Sandman, he can't find him. It's like he like takes a moment to like look at the surroundings.
Look left, look right. Looks like he's out of here. Let him go home.
No, he looks left and right, but then he looks at the web that he fired to save the 2 cops, and he's like, okay, everything's fine. Now I can leave. So it's like even in the film they kind of got this right, but it's just they fucked it up with the crane scene. Like that's the problem. It's like it's so annoying because it's like
you can tell it's like an honest mistake versus fucking full on apathy that we see in media nowadays.
Yeah, it's like you can tell that like it's almost in the film, And it is in the film, but with like a later moment, which is annoying. But
someone, thank you for the 5. Someone named K says, Rift, your voice sounds like you would make a good ASMR YouTuber.
No, he's British.
And yeah, just the whole I think Liam was exaggerating when he said Sam Raimi doesn't know how to read comics. He's just talking about Venom specifically.
Yes.
With Venom, he just straight up. I mean, Sam Raimi was transparent on this. He didn't. He wasn't invested in Venom. He didn't know much about Venom, but they forced him to do it anyway.
I mean, how I see that is that I don't think that's good enough of an excuse. Like, just because, yes, Sony is stupid for forcing him to make Venom, but at the same time, if you have to do Venom, like, you might as well do your due diligence and actually like look into the character properly.
My thing with that is I would definitely agree that ideally you should at least like get some issues of Venom, read what you can about him to understand him. But it's also worth noting that with the production process of Spider-Man 3, if he has like an idea that he's locked into, but then he has to keep changing course because Sony keeps doing this, and that. And
well, that's actually the problem. If he did his due diligence, he'd realize it wouldn't really mess up his idea for the movie, because Venom is perfect for what he's trying to do.
Well, I think
that's what's so frustrating.
Yeah,
I think part of
I agree with that, but I think the main issue.
Sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, real quick. I think the main issue is that if you're like held up with like this amount of responsibilities as a director, it's gonna get to a point where it's like you kind of have to like balance things out. I think what he did was get like a vague understanding of like who Venom is without fully diving into the stories, and then trying to see how that.
Well, he said he read the book. That's the thing. He did say he did read.
Okay.
He read the books with Venom, and then he had the conclusion that Venom is just like an evil bad guy, and that he's not redeemable or something like that, which is insane. Because in the very first issue Venom first appears in, he literally says we do not take joy in killing innocent life, like fucking that police officer he kills in the first issue. And what he thinks he's doing is right. So I'm like, what are you like? How can you read that shit and not go, hey, Venom actually fits the idea I'm going for? I want the story to be about how villains can redeem themselves, forgiveness. Man, Venom is perfect for that. He's a character that's super redeemable. He's not just straight up evil. And like, Venom himself literally learns to forgive Spider-Man in the books. Man, that's really useful.
But then the ending of that he dies because he chose to be an asshole.
Well, I'd also point out as well, I think what makes Venom like easily one of the weakest parts of the trilogy is like Sam Raimi is like, he started out as being like a horror director. So it's like with characters like Green Goblin and especially Doc Ock, it's like he had like there were cheesy moments, like you have like a fucking Green Goblin jump scare in the first film, which I thought was pretty shit.
Five Nights at Goblins.
But
Five Nights at
Goblins. But it's like especially with like Doc Ock, it's like I think him doing the arms is mostly practical. It's like you can tell that those characters like translate well to his vision, where it's like, okay, doing like scarier characters but also like with practical effects and what have you. And they try to do something similar with Sandman, where if you look at the behind the scenes, there was so much work that went into Sandman, like unbelievable amount of practical work. Like they went through like loads of different types of sand, like very specific details that you just wouldn't expect nowadays. And with Harry's Goblin, obviously they had the foundations because of Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. It's like, okay, just replicate that. Chances are you've got a winning formula. Yeah, but it's like with Venom, it's like, how the fuck do you do a practical Venom? Like, to be fair, he did try. Like, if you look at like Topher Grace's costume, it is like kind of mostly practical, but it's like, I think it's just a very hard character to translate to like how Raimi does like his characters. Like if you compare like Doc Ock and like how they did him to how they did Venom, it's like it's not even remotely close. It's like Venom's just so out of place.
That's why I find it like so bizarre when I see people on Twitter unironically gassing up like Raimi Venom and going around saying, "Oh yeah, this guy he did a great job with him. It's on the level of it's no different than what he did with Green Goblin and Doc Ock." I find that crazy. The work done for them is way more like there's way more attention to detail or an attempt to explore them as people than there is with Venom. He's just a joke by the end. Like,
Well, I'd
he
also
dies
point
in
out as
literally
well,
the
it's like-
funniest way possible.
I'd also point out as well, you know, like the very final part where, like he's like fucking with Peter and then he like webs him down and what have you. It's like literally up until he starts speaking, you could close your eyes and think that he's a xenomorph. He's using stealth. He's like a horror movie character. He's making all of these alien-esque screams. It's like he doesn't feel like Venom at all. Like he feels like, to
I think that
Raimi's
fits
credit,
perfectly for Venom, honestly.
well, it's like to Raimi's credit, he feels like a horror character. So it's like it's playing to his strengths a little bit there. But it's like it just, you know, I don't know, it just feels like kind of out of place.
I think
compared to,
Venom's the
like-
best
it's like-
for a horror character if you think
It's
about
like,
it.
well, no, I'm not disagreeing, but it's like, you know, like 90s Venom, where it's like he kind of has like a loud like breathing, not breathing. How would you describe it? Like gasping or breathing or like
Well, yeah,
grunting.
he has very heavy breaths.
Yeah, it's like I think something like that would have worked better than like literal like screams. Like it just.
Well, I think
don't
it's.
know.
I do think it's.
I love the screams. I think it's not only does it sound incredible, I think it does fit Venom, because like Venom always kind of felt like a stalker, kind of like horror character that you'd see like it. You know the Resident Evil games, how you have like Nemesis and Mr. X. That's like a
Yeah.
character that just always keeps coming after you. That's what Venom kind of is in the comics. It's just that, but he has a sense of humor. I think like giving Venom the whole stalker vibes while also having like a creepy like xenomorph stealth scream kind of shit going for it, that kind of fits perfectly. Like that's kind of how Venom has always been, like as a character. He's always like he could sneak up on you at any time. You know, he's ready to attack you at any time. He's just gonna keep harassing you until you take him down or you die, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I think is really done effectively with the past depictions of Venom. For example, with the '90s series, where he's just like, all right, he's not gonna stop. I've got to fight, right? In the Spectacular Spider-Man, you have something that's interesting about Venom's voice in it is that it kind of just sounds like a very like twist, like it just sounds like very alien, if that makes sense.
It's like an alien version of Eddie's voice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It does a really good job blending with the voice actor of Eddie Brock, but also kind of sounding like, you know, this would be an alien.
I guess that's just one thing that we can agree to disagree on then, because it's like I just prefer how in Spectacular and the 90s show where it's like Venom does a really good job of fucking with Peter, but it's like he's less alien, more like, well, human, I suppose. It's like he messes with him where it's like, okay, I know where you live, I know where all your family are, like I could kill your best friend right now if I really wanted to, but I'm not gonna because like you need to suffer first, that kind of thing. And it's like they do a really good job with that, whilst also giving him like his own traits that separate him from like symbiote Peter, for example. So it's like you can kind of see that this is like very different to when Peter had the costume. I just don't like how it was handled in Spider-Man 3. It's like I don't mind his.
Spectacular kind of does something similar with the roar, though. He does have like this alien roar when he like jumps at.
Well, no, but
jumps at Spider-Man a few times.
he has like the roar, but it's not like all the time. It's like you can kind of tell that it's like.
I like when it's spread out.
I think
also.
Well, yeah, because it's like in Spectacular, it's like it's kind of like Eddie and the symbiote at times. So it's like there's times where they're in sync, then there's times where it's like just Eddie, and then there's times where the symbiote's roaring. So it's like you get like a nice balance of all three. But it's like with Raimi, it's like it's one or the other. It's like you don't really get both of them together. I'm fairly certain that Venom speaks with the costume like
Oh yeah, he does
twice.
sound like Eddie.
Yeah, it's like
Oh
he
yeah,
doesn't really
I don't
sound.
like any of that.
It's
I'm
like
just defending like the xenomorph kind of like sounds he makes because I think that shit.
well, no,
I feel like Eddie
like.
Brock would
Well, no,
definitely do that as like a scare tactic to fuck with him.
Well, no, I should rephrase. I like the sounds themselves. They're great. I just don't like how it's like if he made those sounds, kind of like with the taxi, you know, like when he attacks Peter at the taxi and he's like screaming and like, I think that's fine. Like keep that. It's like just the idea of him like having this whole like alien isolation sequence. It like I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me.
No, I love that shit. I think that's great. I think that's actually something I will always give credit to Spider-Man 3 over some dog shit like the Insomniac version. Despite how shit of an adaptation he is in Spider-Man 3, at least they get the core of the basic appeal of him right. Like as a Spider-Man villain, because what's so much fun is that he kind of feels like a horror stalker enemy type for Spider-Man.
Wish we
Like
had more
like
of
it
it,
always,
yeah.
like it always feels like he could sneak up on you in any second kind of thing. It's great. I love that shit.
I think it's just that specific moment I don't like, because it's like I like when he's roaring as he's about to kill Peter. I like when he roars when he's like lunging at Peter. I think that my favorite part is, you know, when Peter and Harry are like, they've got their back to each other and they're about to like take on Sandman and Venom. It's like you can see Venom like roaring and also like he's preparing his attack. It's like I think that would have been better. Like if Venom's making these roars, but you can still see him and he's like moving around like rapidly. I think that would have been pretty cool. Like if we got more of that.
Well, I think the best version of it is like when we couldn't see him and he's just like Peter's just trying to look around and he gets jump scared by him.
Well, I think that scene does
like
a good.
he just hears the echoes of this fucking creature that he cannot detect with his spider sense.
Well, it's like I like that scene establishes that Peter's spider sense is like very ineffective against Venom, in case anyone hadn't figured it out by that point. But have they ever, genuine question, you know, like have they ever given a reason in the comics as to like why Venom's like raw, especially in enclosed environments, why the symbiote isn't phased by that? Because like in like an open area, totally fine, that makes sense. But it's like if like his roar is like reverberating off of like metal, other like objects, it's like, have they given a reason in the comics as to why like his own roars don't phase the symbiote?
The comics make it abundantly clear. The only kind of high frequency sounds that can actually affect Venom is sound waves that are strong enough to kill a human.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Like you can't kill Venom with fucking Miles's beats like you can in the Insomniac game. Like fucking the police sirens aren't doing anything. Honking a horn wouldn't do anything like from a car. Like that shit won't work on him. Even the 90s series is guilty of this, where it's like, well, actually, never mind. How loud would the space shuttle be if you were close to it? Wouldn't that like pop your eardrums?
Oh, you would not want to be near it. You would not.
Yeah, never mind that.
That would deafen you instantly.
But that's what it has to take to beat Venom. The rest just irritates him. You know, Spectacular with him hitting the lockers, like that didn't really do anything. It just pissed him off.
It's like I didn't want to sound like a dumbass, but I was like genuinely curious because it's like it's a little weird, like having a creature that like makes a lot of noise and that's like his weakness. But it's like if they give a reason for it, then fair enough.
Well, I think like what's kind of interesting about how Spectacular handles the weakness is that removing the symbiote is less so about the mechanics of like the sound waves. It's more so about like wanting it or rejecting it, right? What makes it very easy for Peter to remove the symbiote is his rejection of it. He's able to do it very easily. He even lets it like crawl onto him, and he just knows it'll just go right off. That's what his plan is. Whereas with Eddie's case, you can't just easily remove it off him, you know, with the mechanics of the sound waves, but also because Eddie is so attached to it. So
well, that's the thing that the comics tell you blatantly. Like, you can't take the symbiote off of him with normal like high frequency sounds. You'll just kill Eddie Brock if you do that.
Fair
Take
enough.
the symbiote off. Take the symbiote off.
Yeah, you literally can't just, ring a bell and then rip him off the suit. That's not how it works. It's like it would be you would have to spam high frequency sounds and it would just kill Eddie Brock in the process. So
Yeah.
Spider-Man can't just do that.
I think it's funny because we talked about the roars and stuff. I think another thing that's interesting about it is like the timing of it and whether or not it fits in, because like if it's used as a scare tactic, I think that definitely works. But if Venom's just screeching like randomly, it kind of just comes across as, I don't know, silly. A good example of this is actually in Insomniac Spider-Man 2, where he gets told that the rock was taken after he revealed its location. And then he gets so mad that the rock is taken that he just grows wings randomly and screams in the air. It's like, okay, this just looks like a child just screaming because he lost something. That's just silly.
That's something I love about the Spider-Man 3 version of Venom, actually, because I don't like it when Venom like roars like he's a hulking beast, and that shit's annoying. When it's like, you see the Ultimate Spider-Man game, Insomniac, or these other stupid versions where he's like, it's like, oh my god, it's like the Lizard or some dumb shit. I like it better that it is like this creepy alien xenomorph screech. I think that fits Venom way better. Venom should be creepy. He shouldn't be like big brute monster thing.
Yeah, agreed.
Precisely, yeah. That's why I don't like the Insomniac version, just making him basically the Hulk. That's just silly to me. I'm sorry.
Well, I'd also like to say, just like as a final thing for Venom, would you agree that them making Venom... Well, what would you prefer? Would you prefer Spider-Man 3's Venom, where it's like he's very one-note, as you put it, cartoonishly evil? Or would you prefer Insomniac's Venom, where there are glimmers of development, but it's just all over the place?
I would rather Spider-Man 3 Venom, because at least he's fun. At least the fun stuff is there.
And he's consistent as well.
I really do like Topher Grace's Eddie Brock. It is very entertaining.
I mean, I like that Venom has a sense of humor in the movie, at least. Like, it's barely shown, but I do like it when he's like, yeah, hey, Parker.
It's like, I think...
Well, my girl, I'll steal yours, or some shit.
How'd that sound, Tiger?
Yeah, that's something Venom would say. Just, how's that sound, Tiger?
Yeah, exactly. That is, like, such a perfect, like, dialogue for him. Piece of dialogue for him.
I think, we can move on to the next bit, which is the parade, where
the parade.
Peter kisses Gwen. In my stream, I said that I don't have an issue with Spider-Man kissing Gwen, because like you see like celebrities like kissing each other in like greeting, it's like a respect thing. But I think what fucks with Peter's character is that he kisses Gwen exactly the same way that he kissed MJ for the first time. That's the issue I have with the scene. It's like if Spider-Man like obviously he shouldn't kiss Gwen like Chasm 2 Peter kisses Gwen, like at graduation, like dips her down that shit. He shouldn't do that. But it's like if Peter like walked on stage and he like kissed her cheek or what have you.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
I think that would be fair. I think it's just that's the issue I have with the scene, where it's like I don't have an issue with him kissing Gwen. I think it's just the way he kissed her. Especially since he instigates that, where he's just like upside down. He's like, yeah, lay one on me.
And I think like the bigger problem is how like stupid he is when he gets confronted on it. He's just like, oh, she's just a girl in my class. It doesn't mean anything. It's like,
and then she shows up, and it's like, it's blatantly obvious that she likes. Well, it's blatantly obvious that she likes him, whether it's like platonic or just as a friendship. It's like, from MJ's perspective, it's like she's already pissed, so that's just rubbing salt in the wound. And then she's also like hyping up the fact that, oh, it's not every day someone can kiss Spider-Man. It's like, well, she doesn't know Peter's Spider-Man, but MJ does, so it's making everything worse. Right. So it's like, I don't think Gwen's in the wrong for that, because it's like, I think that's an appropriate reaction. Yeah, like, it's like if you meet your hero, it's like, and they're everything that you expect them to be. But it's like, I just think it's bad on Peter, where it's like, he's trying to like defend it by saying like, yeah, I guess I've become like the guy. Like I've become like this hotshot celebrity figure. It's like I just think that's well, it's very out of character for Peter because of how he is in like the first two films. But it's like even in this, it just comes across as being like very insensitive, especially when you look at the scene where they're stargazing and he's like, yeah, I will be there for you whenever I can. And then it cuts to this scene and it's just like he's just so clueless. It's like he's just fucking with her emotions. He doesn't even realize it.
Yeah. I think that's just that's probably like the biggest one with Peter. It's like he's just completely inept in this movie. Like, well, not entirely. I don't want to say that because well, yeah, there's so many different versions of like Peter being inept that I feel like it would start to be a little bit hyperbolic to say that he's inept in this movie, but it's just still like really detached from what we saw at the end of Spider-Man 2. The idea that he's just so emotionally unintelligent that he doesn't see the problem with this. Like that's just bizarre to me.
Stupid.
In response to Revan in chat, where he said like MJ when she had that kiss with Peter in the first film, she was with like two other guys. I think the reason why I don't have an issue with that specifically is because like she was younger, like, and you would like make dumb mistakes like that, especially at a young. Because I'm fairly certain they were like canonically teenagers, weren't they? Like at the time.
We're talking about Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Spider-Man 1, where they graduate, like how old would they be?
Oh yeah, she'd be like 18
19.
or 19.
Yeah, so it's like it doesn't excuse it. Like, yeah, she is like cheating on people, but it's like I think
in the first one they at least have the justification that she's not very emotionally smart in terms of how she reacts to relationship problems.
Well, she comes across as shallow at the start, but then it's like she kind of like because it's like she has like the moment with Peter, but it's like she's also dating Flash, and then like
I think they need to be a little more hard hitting that with like how she cheated on Harry, because like Harry didn't really deserve that or did anything that wrong.
no, it's like
It'd feel better if maybe she did it to Flash, because Flash is a fucking asshole in the movie. But like Harry was like trying to be like as good of a boyfriend as possible in the first movie, so it just doesn't feel right that she cheats on him. And they do play it off as like a very special romantic scene when she does it to fucking Spider-Man, but it's just kind of tasteless once you just start thinking about that.
Well, it's like I think the reason why she cheats on him is because of what Norman says at Thanksgiving, where it's like he basically just
Yeah, that's before.
No. That's what I mean. It's like I think him doing that to her at the Thanksgiving, I think that kind of like tips her over the edge to like where she was thinking about leaving Harry, especially since Harry also like basically sides with Norman and like doubles. He doesn't like insult her, but it's like he like basically shouts at her. So it's like I think that's like the turning point for her leaving Harry.
Yeah, I understand that. I just think her cheating on him prior was not. They don't really talk about it at all.
Oh yeah, her kissing Spider-Man and cheating. Well, yeah, I agree with that. That's but I think her leaving. Because as well with like Flash, it's like she does like break up with him like to his face. It's like she doesn't really do that with Harry. It kind of comes across as being like a bit odd. But I think that what were the other issues you had with Peter? Because I think we've already gone over them, haven't we? Like,
yeah, let me double check.
It was like to do with the symbiote, wasn't it?
Let's see. Skipping.
Yeah, you mentioned.
I mean, we basically talked about it already, where it's like the symbiote was just underutilized, like him being in the black suit, him being, tougher on crime, tougher on criminals. That's not really a thing they show in good detail. They just show the one fight with Flint, but they don't show like him dealing with street crimes and how that differs from how he is now. And like the dancing, we didn't talk about the dancing scenes.
Yeah, the montage.
Yeah, I think my problem with it is that while they could work better if there's more meat within the story to work with, we don't have that, and it just ends up like making it hard to take Peter Parker's transformation seriously. It makes him less intimidating. Oh, hold up. My sound cut out. Let me just fix that real quick. I do not know why it did that. All right, now we're good. We're good now.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, with the montage, I like bits of it, like how he sees the article that's slandering him from Brock photoshopping a photo, and he goes there. He's aggressive towards Eddie, like physically violent. He also like just has no hesitation in getting Brock fired, which does mark like I think that it like he's more intimidating like in that moment. I also like the part where I think him flirting with Betty is a bit like they didn't need that, but like him like standing up to Jameson and being like, yeah, like you're giving me the staff job and you're paying me double. Like
I like stuff like that for sure, where he's growing in
it's
confidence.
like where he's more confident. Yeah. I think the issue also, because people have been commenting, the reason why I sound really deep is because I have to be quiet because it's late. But I think the part where he's dancing and like it's in public and shit, I think it's weird, but like I am kind of, it's like I think that would work, because it's like obviously like Peter Parker's not cool, he would do some dumb shit like that. I think what would have made it better is if, as you say, we got like one scene with Black Suit Spider-Man where it's such a difference, where he's acting like goofy and out of character as Peter, but then he's acting like vicious and violent and out of character as Spider-Man. It's like we just needed like a couple of more moments. And I think that would have been like a good comparison as to like how different he is as a civilian or as a superhero.
For sure, yeah. Let's see. Anything else I brought up? Oh yeah, and just another thing that's touched upon is that they play into the. It would help further play into the addiction allegory that they're going for if we actually saw Peter using the suit more often.
I mean, to be fair, at that point, he uses the suit like all the time. Like he has it like under his clothes all the time. From like
he
that
does,
point forward.
But like using its powers, I mean.
Yeah, because it's like in the photos, freaking like, it's like in one of the photos, he's literally forcing a dude through like a taxi's windscreen. And then in the second one, he's like ragdolling. He's like lifting two motorcycles, and the riders are just going flying off. So it's like he clearly is like more vicious and less forgiving, especially towards like just people who pose no threat to him. So, but it's like I think just getting like one or two fight scenes, kind of like how in Spider-Man 1, it's like, you know, the montage he has where it's like the city's first glimpses of him, where it's like he stops the corner shop from being robbed, and it's in the newspapers. He like webs up two thugs. He like saves a woman from being mugged. It's like just like a few scenes like that, I think would have worked.
Yeah.
And it's like you see more of the cities and like the public's response to that.
Well, I think like within the James Brown montage, right? if they implemented scenes where, let's say, he's operating as Spider-Man, and kind of have it be, similar to the montage in Spider-Man 1, where he's fighting crime, but just a more twisted version of that, that would have been better. Kind of intermixing him being more confident as Peter Parker, and him being more brutal and addictive towards his work as Spider-Man. That would make it a lot better.
Yeah. Also, one thing I've just thought of which I don't like in this film, and for what it's worth, I'm going to praise the Insomniac games because I think they do this better. I think one thing that kind of broke like my immersion in Spider-Man 3 is I just think it's really weird that almost everyone in the city just unanimously loves Spider-Man. Like in this film. It's like, I think what makes Spider-Man 1 and 2 better, especially 1, is like it's like a 50-50 split where it's like you see people like Spider-Man, you see people like think he's a nuisance, a vigilante. There's the part where like they call for Spider-Man's arrest like halfway through the film, and then they see the bit at the end where New York comes to like help Spider-Man against the Goblin. It's like, I think that it makes the city feel like more alive and dynamic. But it's like with Spider-Man 3, it's like everyone just unanimously loves Spider-Man. It's like he's in magazines. There's like the one at the start where it's like, I heart Spider-Man. It's like they're giving him the keys to the city. It's like, I think this would have been the perfect moment. Kind of like what they do in the Raimi games where they can't, like with the Danica podcast, as bad as it is, they even notice like how Black Suit Peter is like acting differently. And they like notice like signs and shit. But it's like in Spider-Man 3, you just have the one article that Brock wrote, which slanders Peter. You have like a couple of people reacting to it where it's like, oh, my daughter used to love Spider-Man and now he's an asshole. And it's like the Bugle prints the retraction and then everything's okay again. It's like, it just feels weird. Like,
yeah, I think
it feels like the only people that still hate Spider-Man are MJ to an extent, Jameson, and then the villains. Like, that's it. It feels like hardly anyone dislikes Spider-Man.
I think like what was the strength of the first two movies is how they gave life to the world that they're in. I thought it was really effective. Like in each conversation that you see with the random bystander, there's always something unique and interesting about the person, even if it's just something small. Funnily enough, the Spider-Man 2.1 actually gets into this a little bit more. Like, I guess a good example is like the elevator scene, how they extended that. How it gives a little bit more of a perspective on, I guess, how someone would see Spider-Man on like an average day basis. Like the guy said he was like part of PR. He was giving suggestions for how Spider-Man could, improve himself as a brand. That was interesting to see in the 2.1. They didn't need to keep all of it, but some of it I think was cool. Another example of this is the extended scenes with the Doctor in Spider-Man 2.1, where they kind of like just give him. Obviously, they have like the conversation about identity and getting a sense of who you are, but he expands upon it. He talks about more stuff in that regard with him, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's just it's an element that's really missing in the third movie. That, I mean, like, not entirely. Obviously, there's points where he gives life to the civilians in Spider-Man 3, but like you said, like with the whole ways they flip-flop on Spider-Man, it kind of just seems a little bit, I don't know, less detailed, a little bit more quick, kind of like flip-floppy. Because, like, with the Spider-Man stealing the money thing, I feel like a lot of people would be skeptical on if the photo's even real. Because it's a different guy taking the photos. It's not something that people would ever think is in character for Spider-Man to do. There's never been a report or witnesses of Spider-Man stealing anything. I think, like, if people are just like, oh, wow, Spider-Man did this, it's like, no, I think they would just think that the photo is possibly fake.
Well, no, I think it's like you even see in the montage that it's like people do genuinely seem to believe that it's real, which I
Yeah.
think is like,
Just
but it's
silly.
like it goes nowhere. It's like they print a retraction and just everything's fine. It's like there's no like, especially within the context that like there is a black suit Spider-Man like throwing people through car windscreens
Which no one
and
really
like
talks about.
throwing people off of motorcycles. Like it's like even if the Bugle printed a retraction, it's like that doesn't change the context that Spider-Man is like acting out of character and just no one notices, no one points it out, no one like has an issue with it at all. And I'd also point out as well, the Parker made a comment. He said like Spider-Man's been fighting crime for years and has earned New York's trust. It's like I think it's just very unrealistic for like 100% of the city to just love him, or like 95%.
Yeah, it would
It just
improve
comes
over
across as like,
time. It just wouldn't be straight away. It wouldn't be
it's
unanimous
like-
all the time.
because I think that makes like the first two films more like believable, where it's like in the first film it's like people are like mostly positive towards him, but it's like you have some people that like don't really like him. It's like in Spider-Man 2 it's like mostly the same, but it's like people are like, there are some people who still aren't really a fan of him. There are some people like Aunt May, for example. It's like she blatantly is against Spider-Man, and she's probably not the only one. But it's like I don't have an issue with like Spider-Man being trusted within the city, because it's like obviously Insomniac do a very similar thing where he works alongside the police force, and even though he's by definition a vigilante, they trust him, and he has like police contacts in the PS4 game. So it's like I don't think it's like impossible, but I just think it's like very underdeveloped, where it's like all of a sudden just everyone loves him, even when he's like vicious with the black suit. It's like people still love him.
Yeah.
Like it just, they could have developed that a bit more.
Yeah, agreed. How many movies should it take before that parade would make sense?
Well, why would you give the keys to the city to a vigilante that's like has a secret identity? It's like giving it to someone like Iron Man would make sense, but it's like why would you give it to someone whose like identity is a secret? That's like
I
my
don't know,
question.
I guess like there would have to be like a level of trust that the whole city establishes for, because like what he did to earn it was save Gwen, the police captain's daughter. Which I don't know if that would be enough within New York City, because the police, while you know there are a lot of police that do side with him, there's also a good portion that would disagree with his methods. I guess to be fair, he is the captain of the police department as well.
Well, I'd also ask, like, if all it takes to be given the keys to the city is for him to save, like, Gwen Stacy, like the police captain's daughter, how the fuck has it taken him this long to do that?
I thought it was because of all the good he's done.
No, I thought
I
it was
mean-
specifically because of the... Well, that's what pushed them to do it, because of him saving the daughter of the police
Yeah, it was
captain.
probably a part of their quota. After 6 billion people that he probably saved after the sun, there was just like one more girl that he had to save before the start of the movie.
Sorry, what?
It's like,
The fact you took that somewhat seriously and wanted me to repeat that is fucking insane. You're an
well,
idiot.
well, it's like, well, I don't, it's like,
I'm like, wait, what did you just say? I'm so confused.
well, it's like, even if you went with that, it still doesn't make sense, because it's like, he still almost causes, like, more damage at the crane scene by just leaving and not, like, checking to make sure the crane was stable. So it's like,
Someone's been reading the Daily Bugle.
so it's like, even,
Fuck yourself.
so it's like, even,
You too, Edward. Bro, we know you hate Spider-Man. You're literally named off one of his biggest haters. Edward. Eddie. God damn.
so it's like, even within the context of the crane scene, like it's still a little bit like dubious as to whether that would actually work.
Yeah. Why didn't Gwen Stacy get in life-threatening trouble earlier? Is that a question?
What?
I don't think no one said that.
Well, no. My point was, if like
I'm
Well,
sorry
he
to cut
technically
you off,
saved her
but
from the-
isn't this
from
the
the sun
disagreement
reactor.
day?
Well, no, like, I mean, yeah, true, but it's like, my point was, if, like, all it took was, say, for example, it was Gwen Stacy specifically, because obviously she's the one doing, like, speaking into the mic at the parade. It's like, if she's the one doing it, if it's, like, her being significant, it's like, I think that that's a little silly, especially since in Spider-Man 2 he saves everyone from like the sun.
Yeah, but he needs to
Technically-
save 13,000,000,001 person to get the award.
which is
Fuck
kind of
yourself,
silly, but it's like,
rat.
yeah, it's I don't know, it just comes across as like really, really strange. But anyways,
Alrighty. What are y'all's top 5 comic book movies? I know I had a list somewhere. Hold on, let me look for it.
Including animated movies, Mask of the Phantasm, Under the Red Hood, Superman vs. the Elite,
I would
Justice
say,
League Crisis on Two Earths, and Justice League Doom.
I would say
Fuck live action.
the Batman, Superman versus the Elite, All-Star Superman, Under the Red Hood, and yeah, probably Mask of the Phantasm.
Too low. Needs to be number 1.
Well, to be fair, like around the top 2 were pretty definitive for me, but the next 3 were like kind of in no particular order.
Still too low. Needs to be the top, dog. The fucking movie's
Uh,
amazing.
But yeah, if we include the animated ones, there's no context. Well, that's interesting because like the animated DC movies are really good. Like a lot of them are really good.
Better than literally almost anything Marvel makes.
Yeah.
better than the live action ones as well.
Like the only thing that Marvel has that contends, if we're talking about animation, is EMH, which got canceled after 2 seasons. Killer, which got canceled after 2 seasons. A few of the X-Men shows are pretty great.
Daredevil.
That's kind of it. Oh yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah, the Netflix stuff, like, you know, when it's at its best, is like pretty good.
Yeah, so, speaking of which, I recently finished Superman and Lois with Comic Legends. Superman and Lois is peak. It is peak. Highly recommend it. Because, like, all 4 of those seasons, none of them feel, like, significantly lower at any point. Like, they're all, like, really good. Like, I would compare it to Daredevil in
This
terms
season
of the
is a
writing
10
quality.
out of 10.
Yeah, the 4th season, that is easily like a 10 out of 10. That is like probably my
Well, let's give
favorite
the
ending.
2nd season, which I consider to be the worst season. That's still like a 9 or a 10.
Yeah, like the 4th season of Superman and Lois, that ending, that's probably my favorite ending of like any superhero media out there, even Daredevil season 3.
Well,
Which, to be fair, Daredevil was still going, so that's not. It wasn't meant to be like fully conclusive. They were gonna do more stuff. Yeah, DC shows overall trounce Marvels. Well, Skid. So like, has a DC show ever gotten to the level of the 1/10 intelligence?
Superman and Lois turned the 1/10 intelligence into the 10 out of 10 intelligence and still had the funny moments.
Yes.
Also, League
Yeah, Superman and
Entertainment
Lois
was the
is really
final
good.
boss, and that was fucking great.
No, yeah, straight up. There's a scene in Superman and Lois, where Lex Luthor's just like, if Lois Lane claims to be representative of truth and justice, then I challenge her to a debate tonight on the show.
There's a plot. That episode had a full plot line about disagreement day, bro.
Yeah, that just killed me there. It's like, damn. You know what would fix
Dude, I
Spider-Man
literally said before that scene played, I paused it. SK, and I literally said, you know what, SK, we're gonna play a game. It's called a Try Not to Laugh Challenge. And I just played and fucking died still. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's you know what would have fixed Spider-Man 3? You should have just had Eddie Brock as Venom go on a camera and say, you know, if Spider-Man really does represent truth and justice, then I challenge him to a debate on what happened to Eddie Brock.
Peak.
Stargirl.
God,
I've heard Stargirl is good, but I haven't seen it yet, so.
I would give an arm and a leg for fucking Spider-Man to get a show like Superman and Lois. That'd be so fucking dope.
Yeah,
Really
that would
good.
be great if we got something like that. Or if we got a show, a Spider-Man show that's like Daredevil.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, if
The only thing that ever
Spider-Man
came
3
close
section
was
is
fucking Spectacular, and it's like it got canceled way too soon.
But yeah, if the Spider-Man 3 part of things is over, it's late. I think I'm gonna head off. So
Alrighty, yeah, have a good one, man.
we pretty much
Goodbye.
covered everything. Yeah, it's been good
Yeah.
having you here.
Isn't
Have
this
a
a
good night,
disagreement?
everyone.
Should we like get more people on the panel, or is this kind of
It wasn't gonna be like a full-on open one. It was really just gonna be us discussing Spider-Man 3. We had this planned months back, but then Ultimate Joker kind of got in the way and distracted us from it. So it's like, all right, let's deal with this idiot. Which, if those are curious, yes, he did respond again. We'll respond to him again in a stream. Because it's just free entertainment. I don't know what to tell you. This guy is like a lolcow of the
I
century.
mean, we may as well, because like he's not gonna stop. It's like he was the one who broke the
Exactly.
peace treaty.
Well,
So
like,
it's like,
he
at this
couldn't
point-
help
at this-
himself. It's honestly,
at
he
this
reminds me
point,
of
like-
Lex Luthor in Superman and Lois, but without the intelligence and he only has the commitment. That's it.
It's like he reminds me of like, you know, that one scene from like Superman 2025 where it's like Lex Luthor's just going 1A, 1A, 1A. It's like that's him just pumping out response videos to us. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
Just 1A, 1A, just over and over again. But
upload, 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 upload. That's what happens. Ultimate
Oh,
Joker's a
man.
bitch ass, bro. He tried to call me a nobody, even though I have more subscribers than him, and I'm not even trying. Fuck you, Ultimate Joker. You have Gooner art to get views. You're fucking smelly, and you're fat. And you have a raspy, terrible to listen to voice, which makes me think you have
Damn.
some form of brain damage. You were probably dropped as a baby, bro. Nobody normal talks like you, Ultimate Joker, and you will have to live the rest of your life knowing that with the worst pain.
Fuck the Joker. No sarcasm. No joking. Fuck the Joker. Thank you.
But yeah, good
yeah, have a
night,
good one,
everyone.
man.
Have a good. Yeah, it's been good having you here. Talking. 'Cause, like, this is mom's overdue, as you said.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. All right,
but yeah,
see you
take
later,
care,
man.
everyone. Have a good
And
one.
we were able to call out SK's bad faith arguments on Spider-Man 3.
Fuck you.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess to give conclusions, after some points that like I conceded on, I would still give Spider-Man 3 like a 3 out of 10. Maybe not like as low of a 3, but like I guess a higher 3 out of 10. Like it's still just a, you know, I think as we've all broken down, it still really doesn't work as a film, as a story, and it definitely sucks because of how good the scripts for the first two were.
It's bad, but it's hard to hate.
It is hard to hate, yeah. It is still like just entertaining.
Well, I
Alex?
could still watch the movie and go, and go like, man, like, you know, this was a movie that tried. I can't hate that.
Yeah.
There's lots to respect and appreciate. The only time I've ever had like some kind of disdain for the movie is when people try to like do the revisionist shit and go, no, it's actually good. That shit's annoying and reductive to film criticism.
Alex says Comic Legend sounds like a stereotypical nerd with something stuck in his throat.
At least I don't sound like pedophile Gollum, so I'm happy with that.
LMAO Spider-Man 3 literally did the Black Suit arc way better than Spider-Man 2 PS5. That's sad. I mean, yeah, it's so just as far as content updates, which yeah we can get into in a bit because we're at like a closing stage. Marvel Spider-Man 2 video that is currently being worked on right now. I would expect this to come out probably early October. I'm aiming for that. But you should expect it soon. Marvel Spider-Man 2 story, really bad. We'll get into that.
One of the worst Spider-Man stories told in media.
Easily. I don't know. I'm trying to get Lucas to see if he can like cameo in it, but he has like been not responding to anything. He's just been busy on the fucking political shit he's on about.
Dude, tell him to just ask him for a clip of him just talking shit about Pierce Morgan and something and have it just be in the video, just out of context.
I'll be waiting for the video. Alrighty, yeah, it'll be out probably within the next few weeks. But yeah, if another thing regarding content updates, if Mosquito, we all know who Mosquito is at this point. If you haven't seen, I made a video just recently. I released it today, called "The Most Delusional Superman Criticism," and it's from Little Mosquito Disease. If Mosquito makes a review on that movie, I'm responding to that too.
Good.
That's gonna be glorious.
That person is a fucking cancer to society.
Well, literally, disease in the name. Disease in the name.
Yeah, like there's some self-awareness.
Exactly. It's like the fact
that the way that they've been like criticizing media, they literally said in one of the things that we have recorded of him. I mean them, whatever. Them, she, I can't keep track anymore. But where was I? Like that shit. Fucking, we have a quote where they literally said, I think it was in the Iron Man debate, that I don't review movies or consider like talk about if they're good or bad based off like, you know,
ideology.
Yeah, my ideology. And it's like, dog, if we look at your reviews, every single time it's bad because it doesn't fit your ideology.
Yeah,
like,
that is the funniest part. That's literally
the self-awareness is fucking insane.
Yes, Gaming Rift. She is the person in the Iron Man debate who said Iron Man should have let children die. Same person. Which, by the way, I did see recently Mosquito made that same exact point, saying that that Superman makes it so that people from a different country have to be saved by American superheroes intervening. It's the same point being made again.
Even though Superman is an alien.
Superman should have let children die. That's just, I don't know. I think it is funny because more and more people are just picking up on how insane Mosquito is. Because Mosquito just is insane. It just blatantly is insane.
I mean, aren't they friends with Nirvana and shit?
I don't fucking know.
I think they are now, which is like
that would be funny.
These fucking actual fucking plagues on our society, bro. What is wrong with these people? Why do they exist? They're so fucking basement dwelly. They smell horrible.
So weird.
Fucking weirdos, dog.
Mosquito.
God damn! Touch some grass.
That'll never happen. That would be character assassination if they touch grass.
Yeah.
Anything else that I have in the plans? I can't recall at the moment. Oh, well, yeah, I guess the Ultimate Joker response. Are you the Batman to Ultimate Joker? I guess.
The Ultimate Batman.
To be honest, it seems more like Gaming Rift is, because they go way further back. Mosquito's just a contrarian.
You call me
that's
racist against Russians.
it. Mosquito's just a contrarian.
That's
That's it.
obviously a joke.
Yeah, Mosquito's definitely a contrarian. It definitely seems that way.
I would love to have a disagreement day if we just got Mosquito, fucking Nirvana, and Katie.
Oh
Just
god.
all in a disagreement day.
That would
That
smell
would be
bad.
so bad. The video would probably have to get censored because of what fucked up shit they might just start spewing. Like that's like an invitation for like hilarity, but also just immediate demonetization, dog.
No, yeah, it's just straight away. It's like, yeah, you can't monetize this. I'm sorry.
Liam, you allegedly said the N-word. You're racist because you have criticisms of Miles Morales in a dog shit video game. You fucking racist.
Yeah, and it's only in 1/3 of the games. You're okay with him in the first two, but not the third one.
Let's ignore the fact that I fucking debated SK on fucking the Miles Morales game for being bad like multiple times in our past. That didn't happen.
All of comic book Twitter shouldn't be taken serious. You need to read Donson's Superman review, dog. I've seen some of his points, and they were really bad.
Well, it's always like commentary political shit that like find to like hate on this stuff, and it's so antisocial.
It's so
weird.
cringe. Especially when like they give like the dumbest political positions out there. It's like, oh, like, well, it's not even a political position. It's just them going, oh yeah, he's saying immigrants are bad because Superman's parents, even though his parents aren't the immigrants, it's Superman and Supergirl, the good people. Like, what? It's so stupid.
Well, my question to that is like, are we not allowed to have Superman have evil alien parents now? Like Kryptonian parents?
Or just any
that just
evil
fucked up?
Kryptonians. So
Yeah,
stupid.
because it's like the show's like the double standard of these weirdos. You're allowed to make Thomas and Martha Kent evil in the Telltale games, but once it happens to Superman, it's some crime.
Oh, but they're rich. They're rich Americans. They're rich white
I know,
Americans.
that's
so it's
why.
okay.
It's
So they're
weird.
racist. Will you do a collab / debate with Lumar for Winter Soldier? I did leave a comment, letting him know that I'd be interested in like a debate on the movie. But it seemed like he's just, if he were to do it, it just wouldn't be in recent because there's some projects he wants to work on. So you know, I told him, okay, that's fair. Best of luck with what you're working on. I've been told by Liam that he has some
That
good.
debate needs to happen. That'd be so interesting.
I've been told that he has some good videos on The Boys, which I might check out.
The Boys season 2. I'm watching his season 3 one. Maybe I'm not paying attention too much because it is kind of a long video, but like if he's kind of plot synopsising too much. And then this happens, and then this happens. Any problems here? No. Okay, cool. I already knew that happened. Thank you.
The reason Mosquito loves Joker 2 is because it had Joker change. Man. Imagine if Mosquito and Ranting for Vengeance had a conversation. That would be a show. That would be a show.
That would be so fucking funny.
It might be demonetized, but you know,
Yeah,
that would be a show. I mean, I think like the perfect comparison
we
is
need
just...
we need a new like podcast live stream thingy just called demonetization where we get fucking psychos on here and just fucking get them to say shit.
Demonetization.
Yeah, we just call it demonetization day.
Demonetization day. You just get the craziest people on here just to fight.
You just hear some of the most fucked up shit ever that barely gets past YouTube.
Yeah, it's funny. Just like imagine Lil Mosquito up against like Critical Drinker in a debate.
Oh my god.
Ranting for Vengeance and Ultimate Joker would be madness as a collab. That would be madness.
Dude, we need to pay Ultimate Joker to debate Little Mosquito.
No, yeah, we strike a deal with him. It's like, hey, Joker, I know we have our differences, but hey, can you debate this person called Little Mosquito Disease?
Yeah, we will pay you.
We will pay you.
We will pay you.
We will pay you.
We'll start with 6,000. We gotta go really high, dog. We gotta like really convince him. We gotta get him off like 15 different work days to make sure he joins.
New name, call it Demodcracy. Demodcracy. That's crazy.
I think demonetization day just sounds fucking crazy.
Demonetization day. I think the funniest part is that Mosquito also dick rides the Batman, which if you really wanted to be disingenuous, you could argue the movie is pushing that we need the rich to save us. Well, it's funny you say that, because Mosquito had a whole argument with Batnick on the Batman, where Mosquito argued that it was propaganda, where Jim Gordon said, not all of us work for you. So, it's just... Yeah, even that movie doesn't escape the scrutiny. I think the only movies that are escaping, at least in like the comic book genre, that is escaping the scrutiny from Mosquito is Spider-Man 2, just the Raimi trilogy. Because, like, Mosquito thinks 3 is better than 1, for some reason. And that 3 is on the same level as 2, basically. Both of them were given, like, 5 out of 5s.
Oh my god, I wouldn't even give the best Raimi movie a 5 out of 5.
I give the best one, like, a 4.5. The hell?
That's because you're a shill.
Well, also, like, what I find funny is that in Spider-Man 3, Peter literally says, I guess you haven't heard, I'm the sheriff around these parts. Is that not, like, propaganda to you, that he makes a joke that he's a police officer of the city? I say that, and then I'm just gonna speak Mosquito's negative Spider-Man 3 review into existence.
Speaking of political commentary, did you watch Transformers 1?
Not yet. I'm watching... We had to move it to tonight.
Damn.
Spider-Man 3 and TASM 2 revisionism makes me so sick.
Why'd you have to move it to tonight? What happened yesterday?
It was just too late. We had to move it. So, yeah, with Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 3 is a bit less shocking because it's at least building upon very beloved movies. But with, like, yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, especially the second one, I don't get how people are saying it's not as bad as it was said to be. TASM 2 is, like, very much close to a 1 out of 10 for, like, story.
I think the only thing that I would say is the only reason people might like it is because it is the closest to getting Peter's personality and characterization right, despite like ignoring the shit part of the writing, you know.
Ignoring the worst parts, yeah.
Like my only issue with him that I actually have is that he just revealed himself to Gwen like way too quickly.
Oh, we're talking about the first one?
Well, if we're talking about like how accurate he is to Spider-Man from the comics, that's my only like real issue.
Well, we have to include the times where he's just completely negligent about civilians. We have to include that as well.
No, yeah. I mean, I think that under like just bad writing.
I think Andrew Garfield, like personality-wise, like in terms of how he acts on screen, I would say yeah, he's definitely the closest in terms of that. But it's unfortunate that they couldn't like give him the best material possible. Because like imagine the Raimi movies, but played by Andrew Garfield. Not saying that I have a problem with Tobey Maguire, but I think Andrew Garfield would have been a very interesting choice if he were. Like I mean, he was a kid back then, so they technically couldn't do that. But you know,
if they had Andrew Garfield's personality when writing the Raimi movies, which still would have fit perfectly fine with like what they were doing. It actually probably would have been better if they just did that. Honestly, it would have been perfect. Like they would have been perfect movies. Because my only real issue with the Raimi movies, like the good ones, is that well, besides Mary Jane fucking cheating on people all the fucking time, I don't like Peter's personality is way too soft. And you can kind of blame that for the dog shit we're getting nowadays, somewhat, with like every version of Peter has to be kind of a little bitch that it can't stand up for himself. Which is not how he is in the Raimi movies, though. Like he's soft, but he stands up for himself, which is so weird. It's like a straw man of him.
It's a straw man. Straw man.
You are straw manning, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, you are straw manning me.
You are straw manning me, Spider-Man.
We are going to win the culture war.
Yeah, because he is like, I don't want to fight you, Flash, but you just fucking fight him, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for tonight. I'm gonna get ready to watch TF1 soon, and see what it's all about. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So one of the reasons, and I'm not saying this is the only reason, okay? So don't mischaracterize me. One of the reasons that I'm watching TF1 is because I think some of you have seen that KinoFlex has released a video, going after the sea for some stuff, and also went after Sheev Talks in the video as well. And if you look on Twitter, you'll see that there's been like a big spout and argument going on. It's really entertaining from like an outside view, but of course it's like it really is just a giant mess.
Can we get KinoFlex in a VC? Just real quick, I gotta ask that. Can we get him in VC, like, eventually?
Yeah, that's what I keep suggesting. It's like, you guys got a VC about this. Stop going on Twitter and arguing about it. I don't know. But yeah, what I'm thinking of doing is bringing on the C and Southpaw and whoever else wants to be on. We're just gonna react to KinoFlex's video. I'm watching TF1 just to understand like full context, because that's kind of a significant point in the video. But like, yeah, we'll be interested in responding to it, and then if KinoFlex wants, alongside Jan, you know, they can join the stream to discuss the points. If you want my opinion on KinoFlex's video, while I do agree that like the what happened to Charlie Kirk, that should not be celebrated at all. I think it's really bad that it happened and that people are celebrating it. I also don't agree with a lot of his conclusions against the C and Sheev, even if I disagree with how both of them have reacted to the situation. But I wouldn't say that they celebrated anything in earnest. But of course that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, I think KinoFlex's video, I see the points he's trying to make. I think he just rushed this one. I don't think he was fully careful.
I want him in a VC about Transformers 1.
Yeah, we need to do that as well. That'll be fun.
I want to ask him about it, because that sounds so much fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop off for now. Thank you all that have hopped on. Hope you enjoyed. More stuff will be coming in the future. See you all later. Subscribe to League Entertainment.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.